But that said, you've also got to, like, I always have a look and go, what are you bringing into this, like you as the individual, right? So if you lack a range, like a healthy range of motion, if you can't like lift your hands up above your head, if you don't have a certain amount of rotation in your torso, or you don't have a certain range of motion at your ankle, this doesn't mean you can't do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but so like really, really smart guy, Eric Creasy, he's known, or Cressy, he's known as the shoulder guy. He's got like the Cressy Institute. He works with a lot of baseballers. Him and I think Mike Boyle was his partner back in the day. They had some great
Okay.
warm-ups and stuff. But you can Google Eric Cressy, super smart guy. He had said, I had all his DVDs back in the day. I'd never met him. I would like to meet him. I believe he was an Olympic lifter. Like he might have been on the USA team, but maybe he went to the Olympics, maybe he didn't. But he just went into specialization around shoulders, and he hurt his own back, and he did a bunch of stuff. But he's incredibly smart for rehab and preventative exercise to make sure people just don't get injured, right? So he said you must add range before you add load. So if somebody
Great.
has inadequate range, now this doesn't mean, if you have healthy range, get more range, but it's like people don't often know, like, what is a good range of motion for my ankle, or how much do I need to be able to bend or whatever. As far as jiu-jitsu is concerned, you need to have extreme range of motion everywhere. Like, you just need to have that bandwidth, because if you don't have it and you get forced there, something will break or tear. And it doesn't mean it's going to be, irreparable damage. It might be a bit of a muscle tear, and that's okay. But if it's a ligament tear, that's harder to come back from. And as soon as you get an injury and you get pain, you tend to avoid those things, which can really limit your expression of jiu-jitsu. So you just want to make sure that you have at least healthy function through the whole body. So when I'm looking at somebody, I have a look and I'm like, oh, what's lacking here? Generally, I'm going to give you the cheat code on what's wrong with the human body, like just 101 for anyone. This isn't just jiu-jitsu. This is just, so when I first moved to Melbourne, I'm from Sydney originally. I grew up in Sydney. I moved to Melbourne when I was 21 years old. I was very fortunate to get a really great personal training job at a corporate personal training studio called Fitline. Fitline was one of the best personal training studios in the whole city, and it was all corporate clientele. All of these corporate people came in with kyphotic posture from sitting at the desk, hunched over, right? They had tight hip flexors from sitting just sitting for their whole career. They had carryover injuries from being athletes when they were younger, but now they were professionals, right? Their glutes didn't work, their scaps didn't work, and their core was shit. So let's look at a jiu-jitsu player. Jiu-jitsu players actively round their shoulders, right? Jiu-jitsu players actively load their hip flexors playing guard. Their glutes don't work. Their scaps don't retract. They might have strong abs, but their posterior chain is garbage, right? This is the typical, jits player, right? And so it's okay. But what I noticed is so interesting. Corporates did it passively over 20, 30 years. Jiu-jitsu players actively do it over about 2 years. So it's way more accelerated. I'm like,
yep, been there.
Right? And if you're a corporate who's done 20 years at the desk and now you want to do jiu-jitsu, holy fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be a disaster, because you're basically going to add load to super reduced range. So the cheat code is this. We got to get the shoulders back. We got to get the scapulars strong. We've got to stretch the pecs, stretch the lats. We've got to just get the shoulder into a healthy position so it can move well.